Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Something to Do with Pete and Will. We promise it's something to do. Welcome back to another episode of It's Something to Do.
Try not to sound so exhausted by it.
Well, this is going to be a tough intro for this one, and I feel bad.
You feel bad?
Yeah, I think in this climate, there's times that you have to step back and realize that things that have been said need to be apologized for.
Are you quitting right now?
No, I have a statement that our attorneys have told me I have to. So, no, not our attorneys. I wrote this myself. Nobody else wrote this. This is how I feel.
Okay, let's hear it. If it's anything like your emails and texts, I'm expecting it to sound like it's been written in code.
No,
let's go. Get into the bit. Get into the bit.
It's not a bit. This is serious, Will. In no scenario do I ask to go to Pound Town. It was a joke from my act. Apparently, I'm not invited to Pound Town anymore. Anybody that lives in Pound Town, the residents have been very vocal, and they do not want me there. So I am never going to go to Pound Town. The juvenile and gauche way that I described Pound Town is ridiculous, and it's not part of my vernacular.
There's more pages.
Dude, this is serious.
It's seriously got to finish up.
These people, they care about their town, and they do not like anything that has anything else to do with the fact that they are part of this town.
In the entire Pound Town bit, the only thing that's genuinely funny is
no.
I'm no longer welcome there. I don't think it's going to get any better than this. I'm just going to stop.
No.
I'm no longer welcome in Pound Town. In fact, there's a warrant out for my arrest.
Hang on. So, to all the residents, I'm so sorry. My name is Will Marfuji.
That was 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we've got 60 to fill. You're lucky.
It made that first 4 minutes feel like 60. Oh my God. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're still doing the intro. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of that. We've got also a website. I'm told by the time this airs that there will be something on it. It's somethingtodo.com. And then our website is it's something to do at gmail.com, where you can email.
That's our email. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the email where you can email us your thoughts, or you can comment in the comment section below, or you can get all formal with it and tell us other places where Pete probably shouldn't be allowed to go aside from Pound Town, because he's no longer welcome there.
I have been told by people in my family I'm no longer allowed.
I'm going to stop you right there again. I would hope that it's just one person in your family who's barring you from Pound Town.
Yes.
Okay.
And
there's no
person,
distant cousins or anything that one time.
No, that one person was like you and said, "Stop saying Pound Town."
We can call her what? The mayor of Pound Town?
Sure.
And its lone resident no longer wants you there. Understandably, I got it. I'm with her. I'm with her.
Yeah, she was on board and then quickly became not on board.
She gave you the key to the city and then took it right the fuck back.
Exactly.
She was like, oh, never mind. No. No.
That was, I was looking at your Instagram and you got vaccinated. Welcome.
I did. 2 shots in the arm, baby. No side effects. Feeling good.
The first comment that I saw was selfies of vaccinations are dumb.
Yes.
And whoever that is, don't watch this. We don't want your input. That is not helpful.
I'm gonna extend this invitation to that person. Yeah, you can watch it too. You can watch it. You can think this is dumb as long as you're still watching. I don't really give a shit what you think.
I know she doesn't.
That's
like
my
Pound
take
Town.
on that.
Oh,
no, nobody does.
Say it again.
Nobody does.
It was like 12 minutes.
I know. And now you're going to upset the whole county of
Pound Town.
Let's go with Fuckville.
We're not
and Pound Town is the capital of it.
We're not supposed to swear in the first 10 minutes. And we're ruining
it. That's out the window. That's out the window. So yeah, I am fully vaccinated, feeling good.
Fantastic.
We're gonna keep going back to Pound Town.
No, I wanted to thank our Patreons. We have a new Patreon, so we've got Antoine, Ben, and Jeremy now. So thank you for your support. And we're looking at our sponsors here. I guess we'll get back to that later in the episode.
Yeah. No breaking sponsor news. Oh, what a shock. How was your week? How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
I'm bleeding internally instead of externally.
What the hell happened there?
Well, I bought a new mattress, and so I had to take the mattress out, and I don't have
muscles.
Somebody to help me do that. So I had to put the new mattress in, take the old mattress out, and I realized the reason for the new mattress wasn't the mattress; it was the box spring. And so I took the box spring out, put the old mattress underneath the new mattress.
And at one point you bruised yourself horribly.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was about an hour of dragging 200 pounds of nonsense back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I actually had a similar week, I'm not moving a mattress, but it was a week of trying to get shit done in preparation for this baby. Hanging floating shelves. Oh, I'm not good at this stuff. Not good at this stuff. And I can get it done to an extent where it's passable. Might be a little to the left, a little to the right, more or less level.
It will fall down.
Yes. Well, the old ones that I put up shook out in an earthquake. So now we moved them to a new wall. Yeah. And I didn't realize it's like, the wall is plaster. And I knew enough to know that when I went to the hardware store, and the guy's like, here, use these wall anchors and these bolts to put them into the studs. And when I opened up the shelves and they came with their own, wall anchors, I was like, oh, these ones are twists and they look gnarly. Like this looks like it's going to hold. So I'm screwing them into the wall and one pushes straight through the wall and falls into the back of it. And then I have just a giant hole in the wall this big.
You look in there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, can I?
And then I go back to the hardware store. I go back to the hardware store. I'm like, yeah, I put a giant hole in my wall and I need to fix it with something and still get a bolt in there. And the guy's like, oh, that's weird. It shouldn't have happened with the things that I gave you. You didn't use any with the threads, did you? Because thread's going to destroy plaster. And I was like, no, but I did. Because I thought I knew what was going on and I don't know what's going on. And so I did a lot of like hanging. I gave up at hanging pictures. I can hang them. They were straight. They were in the same place. They were level, but we wanted to do like a museum hang because they're going to be above the cribs. And I just gave up. I was like, we have to hire somebody. I don't know how to do any of this.
Did you just say museum hang?
Yeah. It's so that it doesn't come off the wall. I think that's what I've been led to believe it's called. Because you just take a hook and, bracket and put it on the wall.
You are a fancy lad by saying that. That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
Well, it makes sense. Like, I understand it, but using that phrase is
Museum hang?
Yeah, you're just hanging.
Well, then what would you call it?
I'm hanging.
Yeah, but so that it doesn't come off the wall. Are you not?
No. I'm following your thought process.
Okay,
but calling it a museum hang makes me want to punch you in the face.
It's a specific way to hang something. It's not just putting a nail in the wall, putting a hook in.
Yeah. Okay.
It's slightly more elaborate. And
you did it wrong.
I don't know how to fucking do it.
How about you put a hook and a nail in the wall?
That I can do, but I'm not willing to put a picture frame with a sheet of glass in front of it over my kid's bed in fucking Southern California. You know what I mean?
Then don't do that.
Why not? Why not just pay a guy to, whatever? He's going to do it. He's going to do it right.
You're paying a guy to come to your house to put up a museum painting wall or painting?
Picture frames. Yeah. To do a museum hang. I want to make you say it. What's it called? Do you even know what you're talking about?
I swear we're going to end this right now.
That's the goal. So yes. Yes, I am paying somebody to do it. Yeah, because I gave up. I put a bunch of holes in the wall. Couldn't get the fucking pictures to I was like, oh, I think I got it. One little tap and it was just hopped right off the fucking bracket. I was like, well, that's not going to do. That's not going to do at all.
It's funny. So there's a bunch of shit in our house. Well, I'm like, if you guys touch it too much, you might die. Don't touch
and I don't
these
want
things that are hanging up. We've got an old from like an old church, one of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Crucifix.
No.
Stained glass window.
Glass window.
A Bible.
Stained glass window.
Okay.
And
an altar boy.
So
the host.
Okay, you go.
Wine.
We definitely got that. But it's hanging in the living room, and I guess it's museum hung, but it's because it's so big and it's got all this glass in it. I have to make sure that and all I did was put a bunch of nails around it and then tap them in. Mm-hmm. So that thing's not going anywhere.
Yeah, good. Well, do you want to come over and do mine then?
No,
because I couldn't do. I gave up after I had successfully done, and I'm generally a pretty, except with the exception of with you, a very calm, and I don't get too flustered, and that's actually not true. I get pretty riled up pretty fucking fast, but it's normally it's this close to the surface. When I'm doing stuff like that, it's this close to the surface. And my wife is like, what do you want? And I was like, I want to not be fucking doing this right now. That's what I want.
Yeah. During through this process of talking to you, what's been really nice is getting to know aspects of you that I hadn't learned before. I'm not kidding. You're a good guy.
I don't think I like it.
No. It's the exact opposite. You're a good guy. Having Lulu running past your house and you have to go get this dog.
Oh yeah.
But then you take the wherewithal to go and help fix her fence so that the dog doesn't get out every day and all those kind of things. Those are, I think, parts of your personality that you don't let people in very often to recognize, and it's really nice.
It's sort of in the in the way that we knew each other or we know each other. It's always not always, because there's absolutely been serious and real meaningful conversation in the past for sure. 100%. But it's mostly, as with a lot of relationships that guys have together, a lot of the foundation is jokes and shit talking and stuff like that. And so you don't always talk about the, here's a good thing that I did for somebody else, because also, I don't know. I didn't grow up being, and you're probably in a similar situation. You didn't grow up being like, what I can't wait to do is tell people about all the good things that I did. It's more fun to be like,
for sure.
here's the ways in which I'm a dick. Because I know that I'm a good guy, and nobody wants to be like, look how good a guy I am all the time. It's just fucking.
Well, but that doesn't translate.
No,
because anybody being relatable, they don't. Nobody relates to that. They relate to, and it's not something that we're trying to do. It's just it's relatable when you talk to somebody and you're honest about like this sucks.
Growing up, and
this is a situation that is not working and it sucks.
Yes, exactly. And then subpart probably deeper into my growing up. I'm from New Jersey, where if you're like, I helped an old lady with her puppy, they're like, we think you're better than me. You think you're better than me? You're not better than me. You're not better than me because you fucking helped somebody. And that's what you're going to get. That between New Jersey and Massachusetts, it was all that for the first 20 years of my life. So you don't talk about that stuff that much.
If you're 1 to 10, you want to kind of rest in the 5. Like
exactly,
it's going to be fine.
Exactly.
It's wow, this is something I did, and this is and
yeah, and whatever. We don't need to make a big deal about it. Yeah. You don't need to make a big deal about it. Yeah. But I will make a big deal about the.
But I do like. You're growing on me.
Oh, thank you. And so I successfully hung the shelves. Failed at the museum hang. I did fix my refrigerator, which made me feel like I was fucking winning. I was like, this is dad shit.
I gotta fix my refrigerator. What happened?
So I have a refrigerator that has.
Make it brief. Listeners don't give a flying fuck about your.
As I googled, it's a design flaw. So basically, behind the heat in the coils, the coils that create the hot and the cold to keep it from melting, something like failed and it all froze. No water was draining. It was all freezing, and the crisper baskets at the bottom of the refrigerator were filling with water regularly. And so I had to take everything out, dethaw all the ice out of it with a hairdryer and hot water, yada, yada, and replace this. I don't even know what you would call it. It's not the coil, but it's like a thing that wraps around the coil that disperses the heat that keeps it from that keeps the water from freezing.
You're boring the fuck out of everybody.
Oh, well, at least I'm not telling 38 fucking stories about Pound Town. So I fixed it. After
people like Pound Town. It's a great 2 hours to go.
Apparently, you wouldn't know. You're not allowed there anymore.
No,
you've been barred. So I did it. I fucking did it. So I did 2 successes and 1 failure in my dad world this weekend. I just don't have any of those skills. I don't have any carpentry skills whatsoever. None.
That's all that I have. I have carpentry. I mean, I built the room we're in. I built, but there's stuff like I had a plumber over today, and I have nothing in plumbing. I open up the toilet and I'm like, I get it engineering wise, but I'm like, I'm paying someone to do this. I'm not fucking doing this shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with plumbing either, because if you fuck it up, you're going to cause some serious fucking damage.
It's a lot more money.
Me, that's something that's like, all right, changing a sprinkler head, no problem. Fixing something like that, absolutely, take a crack at it. It's not rocket science. You'll figure it out. Going underneath and fixing the plumbing is like, no way, bro. I just don't. I don't have that.
I don't have fit down there. Again, I'm 5'2", 120 pounds. I can't fit down there.
5'2".
Do you watch any of these episodes?
No.
Oh, neither does anybody else.
Nope. And so that was those were the big things this weekend. And then just one more like that thing that I'm excited about that I can't believe I never fucking thought about before like 2 days ago. You know how when you buy any furniture online and it comes, you have to assemble it, you get the Allen key.
Yeah.
Why did I not think before literally this week to get an Allen key drill bit?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
like the one that goes into an automatic screwdriver. Why did I not ever fucking think about that? I know that they weren't just invented this week, but for whatever reason, for years, it's been like,
for 45 minutes.
Instead of just getting like, done. I don't know why. I have no idea.
And then you realize that you did it wrong. And now you got to undo them and put them back in.
The first time I built, the only time I built my daughter's crib, I got like 90% of the way through. It was like, oh, fuck, I skipped a step because I will charge ahead without the instructions.
Me too.
With everything except the refrigerator, I watched a video on YouTube. Probably could have done it when I hung the shelves, but I didn't. I was just like, fuck it, I'll figure it out. How hard could it be? And it turns out.
I sit there with the picture on the box. And I'm just, okay, well, I guess this is where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them, they have letters. And so it's A, E, G, F, I. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Oh, shit. I put G and I. Fuck me.
I fucked that. And it's like, it's different when you're
cranking it too.
When so you're a single,
I doesn't fit in G.
Yeah, no, nothing does. But it's fun if you're a single dude, it's all good. You're kind of like, fuck it, I'm sure it's fine. But when you're if you're still putting together furniture for kids, you're like, well, it's got to be done right. Like I can't have my kid hop on top of this and have a leg break out away from and send her tumbling to the ground. I got to do it right.
If you're single and you invite a lady over and you put your bed together and all of a sudden it just collapses and you're like,
no, because then you can
assume this is a deal breaker.
You can take a moment because you're like, that was for you. That's never happened before. What we've got going on is special. Instead of just like, I didn't fucking put it together right.
I want to make sure you know that this is my fault. It's not you.
You guys spin it. You guys spin it sexy. Yeah.
So
but when you're married,
we're trying to accomplish.
When you're married and you put the dresser together wrong and it fucking falls apart, guess what you're going to get? In fucking trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to sleep in the guest room every other day because you snore like a douche. So can you at least put the bed together that I sleep in most of the time properly? Because this is getting ridiculous.
Make it right. Make it comfortable and fucking right.
No, I pay for all that shit to be done. Except for yesterday. Thus.
And that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. I don't have it. It's not visible, but my kid rung my bell this morning. I had to think about it because she's jumping, she's hopping, she's like an excitable toddler, and she headbutted me right in the jaw.
Oh, headbutt.
To the point that was like, she like was underneath me and she jumped up and it was the thing that I'd always like, this is going to happen. Watch your face. This is going to happen at some point. And it finally did.
Balls. It's face and balls.
She also got me in the balls the other night. I told a story and I don't know. I think it was in the first podcast about her grabbing onto me in the shower.
Yeah.
The other day, 2 days ago, she was just like swinging her arms as we were getting into the shower. She was pretending to like jump on something and she swung her fist right into me.
Let's say a family member. He had testicular contusion twice.
Torsion?
From his contortion from his daughters. Because they hit him in the balls, and that's when your testicles
twist,
wrap up around each other.
That's a real problem,
and it's excruciating. And you have to go to the hospital, and they have to like surgically
undo it.
Yeah, twice.
Surgically, it's like taking a tether ball around the pole the other way and sending it spinning around.
Poor fella.
Yeah, but they do it with rubber gloves on. So I got clocked.
So I'm telling you, twice. You need to wear a jock in your shower.
Basically, yeah. I do. She's strong. She's fucking strong. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my 5-year-old. I mean, she'll put up her muscles, and she's strong. And so I got a punching bag in the backyard, and she knocks the shit out of that thing. And now I'm concerned that she's got like an aggression issue. Whatever.
You don't have a problem until she's like done working it and then goes, I'm thinking about you, old man.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you know you got a problem.
My face is on it.
Yeah. When she's like done beating the shit out of it, and she said, and then she goes, so how about those My Little Ponies? Amazon going to deliver those tomorrow or what?
Yeah. You giving me shit about my Barbies anymore?
Yeah. Why don't you put the toys away?
Oh, dude.
You're living with
what we do.
You're living with a little like mafia boss enforcer.
So at the beginning of the month, I give them $20. And I'm like, here's the deal. I'm taking you away. You have to do all your chores, but I only have 20s. And I'm not saying that like, I'm, big dick in
like
charge. I'm just saying like, that's what I have.
We all know now that's what comes out of the cash machine. If you want any other denomination, you got to go into the fucking bank, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's what we've got. And I'm like, you have to do all of them or I'm taking them back. And so that's how I keep the chores going. And it actually works. It's get up, there's chores to do because they won't listen. I think we talked about this on an earlier episode is I said, you can have me like this. Girls, I need you to do this and everything's gonna be fine. Or get up and get that. Which one do you want?
Yeah. Yes. Because I was the same thing as my kid she just gets like hyper focused on something and won't break away from it unless I speak loud enough to break her concentration.
Yeah.
And then she's taken to going, don't yell at me. I'm like, I'm not yelling. I'm just talking loudly.
You respond to this volume. So that's the volume. I'm
exactly.
Using. I'm not mad at you, but you respond to this volume.
Exactly. If I continue with this volume of voice, you tune me out.
It can be very easy. No problem.
No. We took her to the park yesterday and it was around like 4 or 5 o'clock. It's the one in our neighborhood. And she has not been around a ton of kids for a year, basically. Every now and then, like cousins or whatever, she's got 2 boy cousins who are the twins. And she'll see them every now and then, or maybe like a friend in a backyard situation, but they're a little bit older than she is. So we took her to the park, and there were a bunch of kids there. There had to be like 10 kids, which is the most amount of kids that she's seen in one place in a year. And it stunned her a little bit. It stunned her. Like that was the first time that I'd seen her, because she hasn't been in school. She hasn't been in daycare or anything. That was the first time that I'd seen her really be like, I don't really know what to do in this situation. That was the first, I guess, I like a reaction to the pandemic, A, being told to keep your distance from everybody, for health reasons, and then B, just not getting the socialization. So I definitely had a moment yesterday. I was like, oh shit, that's it. That's the effect that this last year has had on her. Yeah. She's going away from the kids like, hi. And then she would get freaked out when they would like run around and scream, and she would come back and like grab onto my leg, and I'd be like, you're okay. You're good. Let's go. I'll hold your hand. We'll go together. But yeah, she didn't know. And I also realized that I didn't know how to handle it. When a little kid comes over to me, it's like, can you help me with something? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can.
You're like, what is it?
Your parents are here.
What's the intensity of the problem?
Yeah. Your parents
you didn't go into the bathroom, in the public bathroom at the park.
No. There's no public bathroom. No. It was like lifting a kid up. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm here to help in case if you fall off, I'll be right there. But as far as putting you up there, that's not my bag, man. You got to go get somebody else for help.
Yeah.
What if it was like one of my friends' kids? He'd be like, yeah, of course, Madison. I'm definitely going to help lift you up onto that thing. We're definitely going to play. and it's all good. But
The
yeah, I was
problem
straight
is
kid. I was like,
the other parent sees you doing that and they're like, do you have a child here? And you're like, yes. I'm not, I don't go to the parks.
And we
Yes,
all,
she's
everybody.
She's here somewhere.
I don't know which. Now that they're all wearing masks, they all look a lot alike. And that's the other thing. You can't tell I'm wearing a mask. I'm wearing sunglasses. I'm wearing a hat. And you can't tell anybody's intentions whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't help that like it's clear that all the other parents all come to this park all the time, probably at the same time. They all hang out. They all know each other. They're all talking. And McKenna and I are just there by ourselves being like, I don't know. I forgot how to talk to strangers.
I think the rule is don't touch
Anybody's kids. No.
Well, yeah, certainly anybody's kids, but kind of anybody.
No, don't touch anybody. Sorry, I was crunching my ice. Is that?
No, I don't care.
So yeah,
nobody cares. So so what do you think are to easily transition? Let's see, what have I written down here? What do you think is our culture deck?
Our cultured what? The internet got a little weird there.
Deck.
Our culture deck?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know what that means.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking cancel this thing. It's stupid.
Listen, you're getting on my balls about fucking museum hang, but you want to explain culture deck to me?
No, a culture deck, and that's the exact response I wanted. the culture deck for a company is it's like a mission statement. This is where we're coming from. This is how we're
gotcha. Yeah. Our mission statement. Yeah.
So I did interviews with Disney and Netflix, and so I had to go through like pages and pages of culture decks, especially for Netflix. and they're wonderful, and I enjoyed every aspect of that because they're going to be sponsoring us or airing us
or suing us. Like, you're not supposed to talk about those hiring practices outside of the interview, bro.
No, it's not. You can pull up the culture deck on their website.
Yeah, I'd actually heard like for Netflix that it was extensive. I've heard that it was from people other than you, just in case anybody is wondering.
It was,
and it's like commitment. That's what they want. They're one of these companies who say, yes, like we are there to support you in whatever way you feel you need it, and they are. But they also in kind, they sort of expect fealty.
Yeah.
Which is like,
I think we probably shouldn't go down this road too much further.
No, I just think it's interesting. And I think that, people who don't work in this, it's a little bit of who don't work in this business, it's a little bit of a you peel the curtain back a little bit. It's interesting because I would never like defame Netflix, and I would never say, but it's, it's interesting because, I would imagine Google is probably a lot the same way. We do a lot for our employees, but we also expect a hefty amount of loyalty and commitment. And
the way that they break it down in their scenario is very interesting. In exactly that they everything has to be just so. Yet within just so, well, there's leniency.
Yeah, there's a little flexibility.
And so it's a weird dichotomy between the two aspects of what that may be.
Yeah.
And I went through a long process with Disney, and Disney's fantastic, and ABC and FX, and they all the people that I talked with over there were wonderful. But it is comprehensive. I mean, nobody's messing around in these big conglomerates.
No. I mean, and we saw that probably at the tail end of our tenures at.
Well, they're not messing around at Universal. I mean, when you and I worked there, I worked 22 years with the Universal and NBC. Like, it's, You minding your P's and Q's.
Oh, for sure. Especially now. And I don't think that's, and and to be frank, for a long time. So when I say it, I don't mean like, oh, now in this culture, now you really got to watch what you're saying. We, as employees at NBC Universal, had to watch yearly. You had to do compliance training yearly, and for a very long time. Basically, I mean, we had to do it when we were. Did we have to do it when we were Comcast employees?
Yeah, not only that, but they were hours long. I mean, it was because you had to.
So you're learning about
all the different aspects of what it was, and I understand. I mean, you because you never know who it is that you're dealing with, and you've got
who you're talking to,
and all that kind of stuff. But it was inherent with us, and we touched on this the last episode. But being respectful was just inherent. Like we had to be, but it's because we're professionals and we're not. We haven't just started there.
Right.
We have to be very professional. Everything needs to be just so.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you'd watch those things and it seemed like a parent talking to you, and you said, "Well, no, I am extremely respectful of the scenarios that I walk into."
Mm-hmm. You gotta wonder, like, who needs this? I'm sure there are people.
Well,
I know there are people, but it's like when you're dealing with the thing, it's like, who is this guy? Who is this guy that
we've worked with those people?
That's actually true. Yeah, you're not wrong.
That need to be told that
you're not wrong.
I don't want to tell them.
No. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Where's I going to go? I will tell you, I did have to cheat on one of them, the same one every year. A lot of them you could like auto click through, or you could let the video play and just know that when you came back to your computer, you would just do the test. And it was, it's common sense shit. It's super. It's like,
sure.
Should you give this random person you never met a link to one of our prize IP films? You're like, no, of course you fucking shouldn't do that.
No.
So they were pretty simple. But the one that was hard was the safety in the workplace one that had like me. Okay, I'm an on-camera reporter. I go out in the field and I do interviews with celebrities at junkets and premieres and stuff like that. So they were like, what's the code for a barrel with corrosive material on it? I'd be like, I don't fucking know. That's not a thing that I ever need to know. It doesn't come into what's the proper way to dispose of hazardous waste. How the fuck should I know? Oh, you're supposed to have watched the video, idiot. So
you just push it over.
I had to cheat on that one every year. Every year I had to find a way to cheat.
We couldn't
because I couldn't do
it. Excuse me. We couldn't cheat. We had to, because we're lifting and all that stuff, and we have OSHA and unions, we had to make sure that everything was properly done.
Yeah.
Because we worked with IATSE.
Sure.
So because we don't want anything falling on anybody, and it needed to be properly done. So you go through all of that, and then you actually start to be creative in the moment and capture something. And so lots of times in our studios, you got 15 people in there, and everybody's doing whatever they're doing and making sure, and it was incumbent upon me to make sure that everybody's doing what they need to be doing properly and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
that stuff never came up on any of the tests they had to do, and it was the work compliance training. It was never like,
well, for you,
what's the proper way? Did it really?
Yeah.
It was like,
we got safety training. Yeah, we have.
Well, no, I know you got safety training, but it was.
We have to hang lights and
well, no, that's exactly what I'm gonna say. Like, the proper way to hang a light, it's like sandbag a C-stand, never came up on any of my compliance training.
Right.
Even though maybe that would have made sense more so than like, how do I dispose of corrosive materials? Like, the fuck, I don't know. But it's not like there's a guy there testing you.
I don't remember that question at all.
It's all done on the computer. It's all done through this what's this? Not Al Roker walking you through. Here's the proper way to whatever, whatever it was.
Well,
dispose of lithium batteries.
They tilt down and somebody's holding Al Roker's feet in the hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. There's a guy PA wrapped around his legs.
That happened.
So that was our compliance trade. That was the one that I had to cheat on because I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't remember. I don't remember where I was going with that.
What did you cheat off of Jason's test?
We would, if a few of us were doing them together, we would kind of like brainstorm it. And then I would also, what would I do? I would take photos of the different screens and then click through them. Photo of the screen, click through, photo of the screen, click through. And then when it came time for me to answer a question, if I couldn't remember the answer, I would scroll back through my photo roll to find the answer on my phone.
I hope nobody's watching.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You want the money back? It's gone. It's too bad.
We're not.
I will just say I didn't get asked back because I couldn't pass the compliance training.
Yeah, they're like his situation with the materials. We gotta let him go.
We gotta let him go.
We got so many hazardous materials.
Yeah,
that he has access to. We gotta get him out.
We gotta stop making. We gotta stop leaving lead shavings out.
All right, I'm making a transition here.
Do it. What's in your notes?
Well, this is funny.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm about to describe it to you. Will.
Okay.
Fuck. This is a letter. So my parents are in town.
Huh? Oh,
they both been vaccinated, and so we allowed them to come over because we're vaccinated. And my mom, in her infinite wisdom, she'll walk in and just drop something off like this. And on the way out, she's like, "Oh, I left a note for you on the bar. We have a bar in the house. You've been here, so but it's visible. Like it's a visible card." So I pick up the card and I read it, and it's something that I wrote to my grandmother. I'll read you a little bit here.
Oh my God, this is gonna make me cry.
No.
Oh, you're not writing to your grandma about Pound Town, are you?
Well, no.
Okay. The pause there made me nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Does it say Pound Town in here?
Dear grandma.
You talk so much about it.
I really hope to visit Pound Town. Maybe we could go together.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this aspect of our conversations. I sent you a card with a picture on it. My job is exactly what I want to be doing. I'm a cameraman for the Washington Bullets, an NBA team, and the Washington Capitals NHL team. Both weekly shows that were on NBC. I go to this is 1997. I go to every game and now know many players from both the NBA and NHL. On a personal note, I remember once you explained to me when you and Grandpa met, you told me it was love at first sight. Well, honestly, I didn't believe that. I wrote this.
How old are you when you wrote this?
This is 1997. I was a work. I had already won 2 Emmys.
So we like 20, like 24?
I don't know. I don't math.
The exact. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Wink, wink.
Yeah, exactly. It says 20.
I
said, this is what I wrote. What a douche. I said, I've dated a lot of girls that I thought were great, but never one I can honestly say was love at first sight.
Look at you bragging to your grandma about how many dates you've been on.
Dude.
You was your grandma like, good for you, you little poon hound. Good for you.
But I follow it with, I was at church a couple months ago when I met a girl, Kristen, who goes to school with where Mandy works which is my sister, and I can honestly say it was love at first sight. So I hand this to Bridget, having only read the first couple sentences.
And she's like,
what the
who
fuck
the
is
fuck
this?
is Kristen? Doesn't matter that it's 20 years ago. That's funny.
A douchebag.
I love that you wrote. I did not know where that was going. It was love at first sight. And frankly, I didn't believe you. And that's why I'm glad.
Well, but her and I, yeah, her and I, we would write these long letters. Like she wrote me. Because she was wounded in the bombing of Berlin. I'm German, and so she's, she had to go through all of that. Married an American soldier, and then moved here. So I'm first generation American. But and my grandfather fought in Germany. He's German. It's a very convoluted story, but anyway, so her and I would go back and forth because my mom, we don't know who her father is. So my grandfather adopted my mom, so I kept asking my grandmother who my mom's father was, and they were always very, they just wouldn't tell you.
Sure. Yeah.
So anyway, I'd write stuff like this.
I also love
but it said, so it's Kristen in exclamation point. Like,
with a little heart, with a little heart at the instead of a point. A period.
So I handed it to my wife, thinking this is a cute thing. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, oh, geez.
Oh,
no good deed. So then my mom came back over yesterday. I was like, "What are you doing? You just left this on the bar." I didn't realize that it was me talking about love at first sight with somebody else.
That's funny. I also love the formality of, on a personal note, to your grandma. Listen, now that we've got the career update out of the way, on a personal note, that's funny. That is funny. Oh my God.
Well, no, geez. Now I feel like you and I are just talking. I was about to tell you things I shouldn't say.
Is Bridget sensitive to stuff like that? Does she give a shit?
No.
It's just kind of,
it's years ago.
It's funny to like bust your balls about it. Yeah.
I said here, as for the rest of my life, I'm jumping through some obstacles that I've gotten along the way. Those obstacles, good stories.
I'll bet.
I think you know.
I have an idea. And where not to tell them that on a podcast. Let me tell you, that's something really interesting and fun, but I'm not going to say it.
When they talk about Florida, they are not kidding. Florida's quirky.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Oh my God. I don't know that I have any of I don't know that I ever wrote my family like proper letters. I think I just came around at a time when it was like, hey, hop on the phone. I'll just tell you on the phone.
You and I are almost the same age.
That's true. That's true. There's not much.
You have no excuse. You should have written your grandmother a letter.
Yeah, you're right. I was a shitty grandson.
Yeah.
I was a shitty grandson.
But I wanted answers to some questions, and so that's why I took the effort.
Yeah, you had.
But if there's no questions, then there's no questions.
Right? Yeah. No. We had none of that. No. I think on my wife's side, they've got some questions like that, but I don't think anybody actually even knows the answer. There's nobody to answer those questions. They were trying
I went out to Chicago
DNA tests to try to figure out who is who, and
yeah. I went out to Chicago to try to get some of those questions answered. And it's funny. I don't know if I talked about my cousin, but he went to prison for shooting somebody because he was in a bar. He was a very close friend of mine. I love him. He's now passed. God bless him. But he got in a fight in a bar, and the guy from the bar followed him home, and he shot him when he got to the house. So he and I were so close that I was his pallbearer because he was in ashes. And I wrote something about him, and what the family gave me was a bullet with his ashes in it. So
wow.
Yeah. So the reason I had gone out there was to try to figure out, like through photographs and things, what my mom's, who the father was, because they never told us. My grandmother died and her sister died, and that's sister's daughter, and I just can't get any answers.
Yeah.
I've been given things that are very unusual, but I can't, it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is.
Are you okay not having the answers, or is that something that bothers you?
Well, the fact that people knew and they didn't say, and they took it to their grave, that kind of frustrates me.
Yeah.
And again, this is the time when nobody listens to this. So we've got,
I don't know, man. That shit's fucking fascinating.
Well, yeah, it was a big deal. So there's a lot of photographs, and there's a lot of stuff that's come from that side of the family that I just can't decipher. I don't know how all of that works.
Yeah.
And I've had things translated and things like that, but it's
and all of it's a dead end.
Yeah, because the people that knew died, and even if my mom knows something, she doesn't say anything.
Wow.
But she also might not know, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
And if it's nefarious, then they don't want to talk about it.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's during the war, and so there's a lot of stuff that happened during the war.
Yeah. Of course. It could be a way of shielding and trying to start over again.
Yeah, and being on both sides of it is really unique. Our family, so it's Anyway, so that's where that lands.
Yeah, no. Like a lot of things, it's very nebulous.
Not to get too deep, but
yeah, like how does that impact you? And not in a way that's like, oh, like, well, what's the big deal? It's not you, but well, I don't know. Again, these are questions that you'll never really get the answers to.
I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know what's going on. I want to know how just our genetics are working, or what, because medically and things like that. But I also want to know the story, because I'm a storyteller and I like to tell the story of whatever it is, and it's kind of an itch you can't scratch, and that really sucks.
That's a good way to put it. I feel like when I was a kid, and my family had stories about what coming over from Italy or Ireland or wherever. As a kid, in hindsight, you kind of look at 12 to 19-year-old me, and you're like, what a punk for not being more interested than you should have been. Because now, and I think maybe it's the thought of like, there will always be more time to be interested, and then people pass away, and then there isn't time. Now you don't have any of those stories. You don't know what the fuck is going on, and you're kind of left without that. You didn't catalog the family history when you could have, and now you don't have it, and so you feel a little bit unmoored. And I wouldn't say like, oh, I feel unmoored in my life because I don't know, but I won't know how to explain it to my daughter or my son, like I won't be able to explain the family history. Like I know there will come a point where we're going to have the family tree project at school. And I'm going to be like, I don't know.
There's a branch missing.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't. And like, even though if I
Yeah.
had paid more attention growing up, I would know all the answers because there weren't a lot of big questions on my side. But I won't be able to like fully encapsulate. This is the family experience. You're going to have my name, for my son, you'll have my name forever. For my daughter, you'll have my name until if you marry and choose to take somebody else's, and if not, that's whatever. But yeah, and you won't have any of those stories because I don't fucking have any of those stories. And that's like big picture. That's a little bit of a bummer. So I can empathize.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Because I have a lot of artifacts from them. And I was named after Peter Osterhaus was a German, the only European German in the Civil War. So that's what I'm named after, is Peter Osterhaus.
Oh, wow.
And so he came from Germany, fought in the Civil War, and then went back to Germany, had the rest of everybody. Then everybody fought in the other wars. So I've got artifacts and things from that, but it's just kind of clunky.
Yeah, of course.
Like the end of this fucking podcast that nobody's listening to.
I don't think they cut out at the story of the family family history anyway. I don't know. I mean, you say that, but I don't think it's entirely uncommon, or maybe people just don't give a shit. I don't know, but I don't know. There are whole shows about people tracing their family lineage and shit.
Sure.
People are interested. People are
listen, I'm being facetious
and mailing it to a fucking faceless company to figure out where they came from. They're like giving access to their DNA to figure out where they came from. I think a lot of people.
I'm being facetious, but it's when you start talking about stuff like that, that's so personal.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be the one where we get 1 million views.
This is it's time for you to take your glasses off and say that you've been relatable.
Like, finally, they actually said something.
It's enlightening. It's all good. This was fun.
It was wonderful. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for doing this.
I love you, and
love you, buddy.
I love your family, and I'm glad everything's going well. And
likewise. Yeah, we're like oh my god. Well, by the time people hear this one, what are we 4 behind? So 4 weeks.
It'll be 2022.
Yeah, I may have a baby by the time this one comes out.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see. And then next week, what do we do? Oh, so
did you give us the name?
No, well, he's going to be named after me. I don't know if we talked about this, but he'll be. I don't know if he'll be William. We might be messing with because I'm the third, and I'd always said that the fourth would be. Yeah, I would feel like you have to be royalty to be the fourth. They're like come from like fuck you money to be the fourth.
Name your child whatever
anything.
you want to name the child.
And then so the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe I will keep this going, or maybe we'll change the middle name to something to honor my wife's grandfather, whose name is Domenico.
That's awesome.
Like that's a badass middle name.
Oh yeah, it is.
So we'll see. So as of recording, we have not, figured all that stuff out, but it's like the leading contender is William something Marfuji. So I don't know, maybe he'll be the fourth, maybe he'll be the first, and maybe we'll just change the middle name to a similar initial so that we have the same initials, so that all the monogram shit that I have from like my dad or my grandfather.
Oh yeah.
Can be, I mean, it will get handed down anyway if I still have it by the time he's, they're old enough. But that way it's, oh, you can have this, this watch has got a monogram on it. This was your great grandfather's or whatever. That might be kind of cool. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I remember when we named Ava, we had picked something and I don't remember what it was. My mom was out, or maybe we were FaceTiming, and I was like, we're thinking about this. And I said the name, and my mom was like, huh.
Like, Mom, God damn it.
Okay. And I was like, I guess we're not fucking naming her that then. So yeah, it's hard.
Cinnamon.
It was Kristen. And so
don't say her name. Jesus. Bridget watches this.
So yeah, the naming of children is it's hard to pick a name that you like, and then it's hard to talk about it before they're actually here. Who knows? I don't know. He could come out and be like, you're like, oh, this is a Carl. This baby is a Carl, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's not going to be fucking Carl.
No.
No disrespect to Carl's.
So I have my grandfather's pocket watch, and then I have my watches, and then obviously jewelry and things like that, and that's stuff that we'll hand down. That means a lot to me is things like that.
Sure. So, unless it's got to get hocked because we can't get jobs.
What's that?
Unless it's got to get hocked because we can't get jobs.
What are you talking about? We're making a fortune on this. Where are my Slim Jims? Oh no, it's Jack Slings.
Oh, now you lost everybody.
Oh,
you lost everyone.
Yeah. What's this?
Next week, I'll actually
a sleeve.
A sleeve. I know we're going a little long, but next week, I got that job working for Sky UK. Doing their Oscar red carpet correspondent. So we'll talk about next week. Well, no, it won't be next week. It'll be the week after. But I'm watching all the movies. I'm like trying to grind through all the movies because I didn't watch any of them this year.
No,
and now that I got the job, now it's like, all right, now I got to watch all the fucking movies.
Oh, congratulations! It's huge.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, even just to say, who knows? Like, who knows what's what it's going to be like? They're sending. Here's like a layout of the red carpet. Here's what's going to look like.
We'll talk about this off air, but that's awesome.
Yeah, but even just to say, I was like, I took the job, and I was like, yeah, even just to say that I was the part of the post-pandemic Oscars. That'll be, for nostalgia's sake, that'll be it's kind of interesting. So
yeah, I mean, it's not as big as this, but yeah, that's awesome.
No. I mean, nothing is, right? Yeah.
Jesus, this thing is huge. I didn't think it would be this huge. We got 45 followers.
I know, and not even followers, just listeners, people who refuse to admit that they will, that they like it. People won't subscribe. They won't subscribe. They won't like the video, but they'll watch, 30 seconds of it and be like, yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah. Just proof they're doing something.
All right. These people exist.
This is something to do. Love you guys.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Hang out to the end.
All right. Yeah. Bye.